Right, so
Hello and welcome to the first ever episode 34 of Whoniverse. Here with me, Jamie.
and me, Lewis.
What are you talking about your script?
Well, Brian's not here.
The news.
Yeah, I was talking about the news, but we can get into that later.
You printed it on paper.
I actually did, yeah. You know,
Wow.
well, I haven't got as much going on this week, so I managed to actually get to some decent.
Got a wife and daughter with not much going on. For those listening at home, like I always print out a busking script every week, and in the little section for Lewis's news called Nubian Who's Network, I always because I don't have any news to write in there, so I always put there this week on sticky notes. So that's what Lewis always writes. I'm so shocked. Like I tried to give him a hug, make sure everything's okay. I've been divorced. Who knows?
It's okay. It's
Dum de 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 dum da 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 da.
okay, Jamie.
Yeah?
We've taken it too far. It's done.
Yeah, I got accused of being tone deaf. Anyway, so how's it been going?
It's true.
Well, welcome to the first ever episode of episode 34 of Whoniverse, a weekly Doctor Who topic show, where we look into starting of the show, Voting in the TARDIS, where we're looking at who the best companion is to travel with the 10th Doctor, followed by topic of the Who cast, your favourite companion of Matt Smith, which will turn into the poll for next week's Voting in the TARDIS, followed by Nubian Who's Network, followed by History Lesson with Brian, or without Brian, where we look at Revelation of the Daleks, followed by Gallifrey and Gabble, where we get post.
So, Jamie, about that midlife crisis.
So what's new here?
Nothing much, things just plodding along. Actually had time to do the news properly this time.
We covered that already.
It's a very Christopher Eccleston centric news we've got today.
Really?
What's new with me? Nothing much. How about you? How's your son?
We watched Doctor Who together the other day. We watched
Did you?
Revelation of the Daleks.
Oh yeah. We'll get onto that a little later on in the show, but
I'd rather not.
I watched it myself. Only 2-parter, funnily enough. It
was
45
so
45 minute
confusing. Because I use those, when it's in 4-part, 25-minute episodes. I use those for going to a toilet, breaking time of day. Because sometimes I almost never watch the entire story at once. Mm-hmm. So I watch it bits throughout the week and make little notes. Cheapest. I was like, is it really that boring, or is it dragging on?
Well, it's more reminiscent of
But we'll come on to that later on. So, looking at the first topic of the show, Voting in the TARDIS. Who was the best companion to travel with 10th? We had Rose Tyler, Martha Jones, Donna Noble, Captain Jack Harkness.
I honestly didn't expect this outcome. Not with last week's poll. Being Jack and Rose almost tying.
We'll come back around to the results to keep the audience in suspense, if you would. Suspense. Who would you vote for? Who is your personal favourite?
Well, I believe I give a bit of spiel about Donna Noble's character build. Jack is probably my favourite character.
I voted for Donna Noble, but I don't. It's between Donna Noble and Captain Jack, but it's
yeah.
Captain Jack I associate more with Torchwood than I do with Doctor Who. That's the thing. So, do I see him as a long-standing companion? Probably not.
Yeah, I mean, I
see him more of a standalone character rather than a companion, if you would.
Yeah.
So, I voted for Donna Noble for that very reason. Martha Jones, I like Martha just because the Doctor, Batman, and Superman can get together and scream Martha at each other. Martha, how do you know her name? So Batman v Superman joke.
No, I understand.
So, what we'll do is... go on.
I voted Jack Harkness.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I like to be consistent on these things, and Donna just didn't take it for me. So
yeah. So we charity has been on the show before.
Charity.
I think you do a really good charity impression.
What, her weird, slightly Irish accent?
So if we could do it every. We got 4 comments in an email this week. I thought of bulk up the section a bit because we got a lot of responses. So we got our first comment from @Rob Dalek. I imagine it's like Rob Zombie, but Rob Dalek.
Dalek.
So if you could read it out your best
I honestly can't do charity.
Do Brian.
We'll try do. Oh, Brian's easier. I love Donna. She was classic and I loved her sass. Her comedy, her bossiness. Hashtag emoji grinning smile.
It's emoji, but okay, whatever, old man.
Sure. Emoji grinning smile, emoji love heart. But she has a tragic ending. Emoji sadness. Emoji crying.
Right. All you have to do is go sad face, crying face, broken heart.
Is that what you do?
That's all. You don't have, it's implied that it's an emoji.
All right. Okay. Well, I'm sorry that I'm not down with the kids.
You're not down with the kids. You're just a kid with downs.
That should probably be edited out, Jamie.
We'll see.
Okay. So
we've got our next comment from at Eva Matthew.
Eva Matthew.
Do Irish.
Okay. I cannot do Irish.
Top of the morning to you. I
And the
love Martha. Was stunning and Jack was also so funny. But my favourite will always be Donna. She fought for her life was done, but at least it was incredible. Oh, my lucky charms.
From the school of Mrs. Doubtfire.
Hello.
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 I'm Mrs. Doubtfire.
My name is Mrs. Doubtfire.
Okay. So we've got Jackie Stevens 95 coming in next.
How inventive.
Jackie Stevens 95.
Jackie Stevens 95.
9 to 5.
Right, do this one in your best Elvis Presley.
Elvis Presley.
I was so drunk.
However, Martha held her own, saved the doctor in a family of blood episodes. She was. She also worked the earth and saved the world and ended the series. I love Rose, and she absorbed the time vortex, but Martha did it for me. Well, Martha did more.
Stop adding in your own words.
We had a lot.
This next one's from Darren Ransom. Donna, for me, bringing back the companion in a platonic sense. She's fun, funny, and never takes the doctor's BS. Few companions were as much as equals as she was. Dr. Donna, indeed.
I honestly thought I was in the presence of the king, like the king didn't die, he just went home. Or moved to Leeds.
Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you very much.
Shimon. Don't forget you can also email us at thewhoniverseshow@gmail.com, which brings in our next email is from somebody, and she just signed it as Calf in the Bath.
Calf in the Bath? Well, hello, Calf in the Bath. Where there's no calf from.
But maybe it's Calf in the Bath, as in she's from Bath.
Maybe she's in Bath. Well, yeah, I wouldn't even presume to know the accent of.
Well, it's from the Roman baths. Yeah.
So a Roman accent then.
No, so you got to imagine you're having a bath when you read out the email.
Wait, how do you do that?
I'll tell you. I'll show you.
Okay, you're gonna have to.
Representation, splish splash, has always been very important to me in Doctor Who. Gluggle gluggle. And being a gay woman, it was nice having someone who was open, splish splash, and his sexuality throughout the series. Swim swim. He never announced his sexuality. Scrub scrub. People just accepted him and didn't need to put a label on it. Jack is my hero. Scrubby scrub.
Yes, Calf in the Bath. I agree. Calf. Jack is an excellent character and a brilliant role model.
And I think that reasoning is very
it's
representation
very,
is very important. Like companions are very typically straight females with the occasional masculine male.
Yeah. I mean,
discounting Jamie.
I was reading a little bit about the history of Doctor Who recently, and
we'd have to go far. So
the way it was the way it was pitched, the original concept of Doctor Who, and the reason the character is probably straight female is because the original pitching. The original pitching was a completely different concept, but when the person who was producing it actually came back to the writer and said he advised them, to change it completely, and there had to be like a young teenage woman in there. So that's not saying that.
Fun fact: the companion in Doctor Who is always a representation of the modern day human being.
Yeah.
So on to the results. We had Rose Tyler at 34%, and she didn't win.
Yeah.
Martha Jones at 5%, who didn't win. Captain Jack Harkness at 17%, but didn't win. Donna Noble taking almost half of the votes at 44%. How do you feel?
Well, I honestly believe that Donna Noble had some of the best character development throughout the show, and then they reverted it all. She went from this, this is this person who was kind of chavvy, who didn't know much outside her own little bubble, and she experienced the universe and everything, and that changed her fundamentally as a person.
Yeah.
So I can get on board that Donna Noble won this one, but my vote was for Jack, because I just love how saucy Jack's character is.
That's fair enough. And looking at next week, we'll be looking at the favourite companion who travelled with Matt Smith. Now, off the top of my head, the companions I remember are Amelia Pond, Rory Williams, River Song, and Clara Oswald, who may have some voting favour. Clara Oswald, in particular, may have some voting favour from being in the 50th anniversary. On Wikipedia, however, the 11th Doctor also has a magical 5th official companion, Craig Owens, played by James Corden. You may remember him from the episode The Lodger. However, the episode that made him a companion was also his last as a companion in the series. In the episode, the episode was called Closing Time.
Did he actually go in the TARDIS though? Because I remember it was an episode about.
This is not only from Wikipedia. This is from the official BBC Doctor Who website, and I'm not gonna argue with the source material.
But I can't remember whether he travelled in the TARDIS, because I know that the first episode he was in 2 episodes.
Maybe it's not just someone who travelled in the TARDIS. Maybe it's just someone who went for a walk with the Doctor. But I think we'll leave Craig Owens out of the poll.
Okay.
Because he was technically only in it for one episode. So Amelia Pons, there's only one. Technically, it depends. Paradox. Amelia Pond, Rory Williams, River Song, and Clara Oswald. Who do you think will win?
I would say
River Song.
I don't know.
I think it'd be really close. Yeah. I can tell you who will come last.
Definitely Rory's going to,
Clara Oswald, yeah.
You think Clara will come last? I don't think so. That she was quite a popular character,
I don't know why.
Just because you've got the same prejudice on Clara as I have on Rose Tyler, except she wasn't a pop star in the early to mid 90s.
No, it's not that I don't like Clara Oswald. My issue with Clara Oswald is when she came into the series, she just came from one of the greatest story finales ever in Doctor Who, with the Amy Rory being the mother and father of River Song.
Yeah,
and it was probably one of the greatest moments in Doctor Who. So Clara Oswald just kind of paled in comparison.
Yeah, but if you go back and watch it in its own right, she really does hold her own. It's just that.
Well, we liked her enough to put it in the 50th anniversary, so. I
felt the same as you. At the time, I felt the same as you, that Clara wasn't a very good, a very good sort of substitute for Amy and Rory. We were all kind of, let's face it, heartbroken with Amy and Rory leaving. The run up to it, we knew something was going to happen, but. And you always need the next companion along. The Doctor cannot travel alone. He does strange things when he travels alone. So, yeah.
So, who do you think will win, and who will you vote for? Those, I hope, are 2 different things.
Yeah, I think they are 2 different things. I
Personally, I'm going to vote for Rory Williams.
I'm not.
Purely because he's just a really nice character. He did everything for Amy, never really got much thanks. He's like the typical unthanked husband. Yeah. Does so much for her, but only ever gets abused. It's actually technically domestic abuse. But I think River Song's going to win it.
I'm kind of torn. I'm torn between Amelia Pond and River Song. You know, it's difficult.
It's gonna be close.
Yeah, I'll decide on the day. You know that I'm voting. So
Yeah. Who do you think will win though?
I think.
You can't decide who's going to win on the day.
Yeah, I think River Song will probably take it. You know.
River Song's going to take it. I think it's going to be really close between Amelia and River, but
Yeah.
Rory will have my vote, and I hope Clara's last. So, moving swiftly on to Venuvian Who's Network. What have we got, Lewis?
Oh wait, we actually have something this week. Okay, so moving on. All right, that was
Down for some news.
the
Go.
news. All right, so bit of news about Christopher Eccleston. Well, there's 2 articles on Christopher Eccleston. We've got one on like the history of Doctor Who. I hinted on it earlier in the show. So Eccleston.
It's coming back.
Basically, it's a bit of a downer of an article, but I just took a little bit off of this one. Basically, he's advised that he'd rather be euthanized than live with dementia. His father, Ronnie, died, with dementia at the age of 83. In the article, it actually said he died in 2021. At the age of 83, and I was like, well, that's interesting since Doctor Who's a show about time travel, and but I think it meant 2012.
No.
So
He knows when he's going to die. That's kind of concerning.
that is concerning. Yeah. So Christopher just basically
He's very blunt, isn't he?
He is, but he's very truthful about what.
I like how you wrote
says,
Christopher Eccleston, but you wrote Christopher in capital letters, and Eccleston's like Christopher Eccleston.
Yeah, so Christopher basically the reason he said this, it's part of his expose, or like his autobiography that he's recently released, or he is releasing. Basically,
It's already released.
His family. His family, it's in his family. His father's mother also had dementia, and her 2 sisters. So it's something that he's more likely than your average person to get in his lifetime.
You know what's really concerning for him? He's said this like 10 times now.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on. Interesting bit of news, and this is, it completely shocked me when I was reading this, because Eccleston, for the longest time, has been.
I know what I'm going to do when I meet
but-
Christopher Eccleston. I'm going to say, oh, thank you for buying me dinner last week. And he'll be like, what? Like, you don't remember?
So for the longest time, we know that he's had a problem with the BBC. We know that
Big black cocks.
we know that has to be edited out.
But it's not a swear.
I think it is. Right. So we know that he's had a problem with the BBC. We know, that he hasn't done anything to do with Doctor Who because of this. Since he.
But we know differently now.
Very little. Basically, he'll be one of the guests at the annual Gallifrey 1 convention in Los Angeles earlier next year.
I really want to go to that.
Yeah, it's the 31st convention Doctor Who in Los Angeles.
It's actually the first convention of Doctor Who.
Yeah, but the 31st, screening of the Gallifrey 1. Now, he'll be doing both days.
Waffles.
Okay. He'll be doing both days, and as I said, he's been reluctant to really, discuss Doctor Who since then. And it kind of makes me wonder as to, what this opens the door to. What
I'll tell you. His bit is kind of in between work right now, so he wants to. He came to London Comic Con, and he was charging £500 for an autograph.
Really?
And that's what he's going for. And I'm telling you, he walked out with a couple of, it was like
big stash of money,
like tens of thousands of pounds.
Really?
For a day's work. He can make more money doing that than he does like acting.
Yeah. So does this mean though? Would you say that this means that Eccleston will perform in one of the specials of Doctor Who?
No, he's just been paid a lot of money, and he's going to make a lot of money. It's a business.
Yeah. Oh well, obviously it's business.
If he was going to come back to Doctor Who, he wouldn't do it announce it at an unofficial Doctor Who convention.
Yeah, he hasn't announced that he's coming back to Doctor Who, but
No, he wouldn't even mention it. Like, he wouldn't even bring it up. He's no stranger to going to Doctor Who conventions either. Like, if you go to a Comic-Con where he is actually at, one of his prints behind him, one of his pictures, is him as a Doctor.
Yeah, right, okay.
Because that's where people know him. It's like, I want people to recognise me.
Yeah.
Doctor Who, throw a Doctor Who picture up there.
But the article that I was reading does suggest that he softened on his his attitude to the BBC and his attitude towards Doctor Who as well. He said he actually said he knows that Doctor Who was the best thing professionally that ever happened to him. He states that rather than a learning curve, it was a plunge down a long well and a climb back towards the sunshine that he now sees. So it's possible that he's softening on his on his actual
maybe he hasn't
to the BBC.
Just so I can't name anything on top of my head, but he hasn't done BBC work since.
Yeah.
Okay, and in his book, he also states that the look at people, the skinny look that people are so accustomed to, and I really like about him and Doctor Who, his big ears and stuff, is actually linked to his bulimia. And he associates Doctor Who, that's when he was like more sick and stuff, and so it's like it was the sickness as well as one of the reasons why like it was being body shamed and stuff, and he felt like he had to keep an appearance, so it just wasn't healthy for him to carry on being the Doctor.
Did you buy the autobiography? Yeah.
No, I'm waiting for him to do signings.
Is he doing signings in Leeds?
He actually sent signings to loads of bookshops, and one of those being Waterstones and Leeds. Yeah, but I missed out.
You missed out. Fair enough.
But no, but it's very common for.
He is. It looks like what he's going to do he's from Salford, Manchester. He's going to play
that games then, but carry on.
He's going to play the Lowry Theatre in Salford. Basically, he's going to give a reading of his book in the Lowry Theatre on the 14th.
The entire book.
October, not the entire book. He'll be taking an extract from it.
Oh.
It'll probably be a decent amount, because he's not just.
How long is it?
He's not just going to sit on the stage, read it half a chapter, and then
go. Page 1, published 2019, published by blah 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 blah, ISBN 125678910. Cool, barcode.
And that's it. He just walks off the stage after that, and everybody's left in suspense.
He reads all the codes at the beginning. If you like this book, also by blah 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 blah. Chapter 1, I have bulimia.
And that's it. Yeah, that's the entire thing. So no, Monday the 14th of October, he'll be there at the Lowry Theatre in Salford. If anybody wants to go along.
How much?
There was no costings.
Did you do research?
I had a look, but I couldn't find.
When is it again?
14th of October. So next month. Have a look online, see if you can see
anything.
anything. I was thinking about it. Yeah.
Should we go?
If I can get. It's Monday. It didn't give a specific time, so
it's on a Monday.
Yeah, it is on a Monday. So
try and book it off work.
A little bit. It's podcast day as well, so.
Sugar.
Could we do a podcast live from?
Should we try and get him involved?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, last time when we recorded a podcast on Tuesday, it made it very difficult for me because I didn't have enough time to edit it, upload it. So it's like we have to if we're not both available to record it on Mondays, I would have to do a solo show because it's too stressful.
It's just like, Chris, can we? Can you be part of our podcast? Because Monday's the day that we record it, and he's like, yeah, that's.
He'll be like, fantastic.
That's £10,000, please.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, if he asks for 500, I'll put in 250. You put in 250.
Well, I'd love to. If I had the money.
No. Just take it out of your cheeky Chico's fund. Chico's, by the way, is a local takeaway.
It's not £2.50. It'd be £250.
Okay, whatever. And next on the agenda.
Next on the agenda was just going through a bit more information about the backstory to Doctor Who. So originally, Doctor Who, when it was pitched by C. William, the original writer, basically the concept was
no bug-eyed monsters.
Well, yeah, they had that in but that came from the BBC survey group that said no bug-eyed monsters, no tin robots. and no elaborate settings.
Like we got all those three things.
Exactly, you've got the TARDIS, the Cybermen, and the Daleks, which is, there we go. So, C. Weber pitched the concept of about a team of scientists dealing with impossible problems with future tech, this sort of thing. He called them the troubleshooters and stated that they...
it's a really good name for a show, but carry on. I want to watch this show. Keep going.
Right, so he stated that the partner up as scientific consultants anyway. Weber pitched three characters. There was a handsome young man hero, handsome well-dressed heroine about 30 years of age, and a mature 35 to 40-year-old man with a character twist. So this is seen very much as how the Doctor started out, this 35 to 40-year-old man. Newman, the producer at the time, he read over Weber's pitch and he hated the entire thing. He was like this is.
I'm still stuck on troubleshooters.
Yeah, you want the troubleshooters to be made now.
Idea for a TV show.
Yeah. So he.
Well, they travel through time and find problems and fix them using futuristic technology.
Yeah. No, they didn't travel through time. This is the thing. The original pitch had nothing to do with time travel.
Really?
So it was just a team of scientists using some sort of future tech. So it was set in the future. They were using some sort of future tech to solve problems that could only be solved by science. But one of the reasons Newman hated it was because he felt that it would be unrelatable for the kids. He felt that there needed to be a younger character for the kids to relate to, and this had to be a young teenage girl, and hence why Susan was originally put into plot. One thing, I've gone over one thing that he liked about it was the mature man with the twist, and then they went on and stated that the main character had to be an alien scientist around 720 to 760 years old. Is that originally the Doctor's age? Because honestly,
we'll come back.
Yeah, because it's something to do with the history lesson.
Yeah.
Who fled his planet with a spaceship that could travel in time. This sounds a bit more familiar, a bit more reminiscent of Doctor Who. Newman also suggested that the main character needed to be a senile old man, and hence why it's called Doctor Who, because he wouldn't know who he was.
Okay.
So that's how the name Doctor Who. I found that fascinating when I read it. I was like, oh, there you go. Yeah. Obviously the amnesia thing or the Doctor being a senile old man didn't stick. And when they went on,
maybe he's senile.
When they went on, Weber suggested that that the senile old man hated science and wanted to destroy or nullify the future.
Yeah.
Which obviously didn't stick as well. So yeah, that was.
These seems like great ideas for TV shows, though.
Yeah. But
for troubleshooters.
Yeah, the main character.
It could be a comedy.
Yeah. I could see it as a comedy,
I guess
sci-fi comedy.
Sci-fi.
Well, there's a lot of comedy in sci-fi. Doctor Who has a lot of comedy in it.
Yeah, but it's not a comedy show.
No, it's not.
But something that's primarily comedy, like Red Dwarf.
What then take sort of second seat to sci-fi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is that it for the news?
That is it for the Whovian News Network. Oh, we've got exit music now as well. The gears grinding down.
So next, who's your lesson without Brian?
Hi, Brian. Oh no, you're not here again.
Oh, I'm here. I'm Brian. I know everything about Doctor Who. How do you spell Doctor Who then, Brian? B-R-I. No, that's your own name. So this week we're watching Revelation of the Daleks. So what's happening? Why does this exist? Some of the questions I was asking myself whilst I was watching. Welcome to what is probably one of the worst episodes of Doctor Who in history. Controversial? Well, it has a 7.7 on IMDb, which should mean it's pretty damn good. Maybe I'm stuck in the 21st century and can't get into a mindset of set up a DJ, but I wanted to rip his bleeping head off.
You know that was Alexi Sale as well, the DJ.
Was that him?
Yeah.
I hated him.
Did you?
Oh my God.
I like the fact that his character kept changing. You know, like he became like different.
It's like he didn't make any attempt to change. He was like, oh, I'm Elvis Presley now. Oh,
Right.
I know I'm Madonna. Oh, I know I'm someone else. Oh, I know I'm a Terminator. He just kept on. He wasn't funny.
He just
he
had
was
that-
annoying.
He just had the Mancunian accent all the way through.
I knew it had to be him,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Because him who was a special
Yeah.
guest. Because this is why he was the only character in the show that seemed like he was just put in for no bloody reason
Yeah. Well,
whatsoever.
He got killed eventually, so you know, like you got some sort of payoff on
I
that.
hope he's dead.
Poor Alexi Sale.
IRL. But it was a great quote in there. I'm a doctor, not a magician.
Yeah. You know, here's a bit of trivia for you about the episode. Do you know the?
There's a nice continuity error in there as well.
What's that?
There's a nice continuity error in there as
What
well.
was the
if you noticed it.
continuity error?
It was right at the beginning where that zombie thing when it attacks the doctor. He was wearing his blue coat, and then magically he wasn't wearing his blue coat.
Excellent. I didn't see it. I didn't actually notice, but
I noticed. I like that blue coat. Oh, where is it?
interesting. Yeah, it had a lot of question marks. So it wasn't a coat. It was a flip.
Oh, it was
cloak.
a cloak. Yeah,
Yeah.
a cape.
So here's a bit of trivia for you about this episode. The person who played the head embalmer, his name I can't remember now. He's in an episode of Modern Who. He's in the.
There were too many plots going on at once, and they didn't go together properly.
I think it was based on a previous episode as well. That's what I think. But yeah, he's in Voyage of the Damned.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he plays the person who teleports them down to Earth.
Oh,
Voyage of the Damned. He's called Copper, Mr. Copper, in that one.
this was our first introduction to Perry as a companion. Didn't you find she was very self-centered?
Well, no, it
Well,
isn't.
like-
It isn't our
well-
first introduction. We've seen Perry before, and I think we made similar comments before
Oh,
in
maybe-
Davison's regeneration into Colin.
Oh, but changed with you in
It's what's the episode? The Caves of Androzani.
And Jazani, yeah.
Yeah.
Was that her? Okay.
That was
well,
Perry. Yeah.
I found her to be maybe a bit same comment. She was very self-centered. You notice how when the doctor said he was
He was going to die.
This is
she was
where I
like, well,
died.
how do I get back to
like,
Earth?
how do I get her? I thought, oh
yeah.
my god, is it your wife?
Yeah. Well,
Sorry, she's not listening.
hopefully she doesn't listen to this. Yeah. Cheers, Jamie.
Yeah, but no, the episode felt like a bunch of random clips joined together in what formed excuse of Doctor Who.
I don't echo your sentiment on this episode. I quite enjoyed it.
Why?
It just, it did have a storyline to it. You just,
Of course
I
it had,
don't know.
yeah, they all have storylines in them.
It did. It had a compelling storyline as well.
I like watching classic.
It was
a classic version of what's his name? The Dalek. The King of the Daleks.
what, the Supreme Dalek,
No, the Dalek head. What's his name?
the Dalek head,
The head thing.
Davros.
Davros, that's it, thank you.
Oh my
It was
God.
nice seeing a classic version of Davros.
Yeah, I mean, not much has changed. There's a bit more. There's a bit more detail on the prosthetics that they use for the new Davros, and he's got that light in his eye rather than the just a coloured in prosthetic eye, hasn't he? But yeah, I mean, he's much the same as he is in.
They didn't do a good job hiding the microphones in this episode. You could see all the microphones dotted around, or sometimes the boom mic just popping at the bottom of the screen. But not so many wobbly sets. But I really didn't enjoy the episode. I was actually getting bored.
It had a very Big Brother sort of feel to it. 1984. That's what I liked about it.
Yeah, it was. There was cameras everywhere.
And you were being watched constantly. There was a suspense of, is this conversation being overheard by, the big bad?
Well, that's the thing. There was no really sense of dread. It wasn't like because Macra Terror had a sort of same feel where you were always being watched. but you don't know you're being watched, and there's a more sense of terror. Whereas this, it felt like, oh, you're being watched.
Yeah.
And then the bloody DJ comes on like, oh no, let's make a joke out of everything for no bloody reason whatsoever. Oh no, you better watch out.
Yeah, he was commenting on everyone as they were doing something, which kind of give the good guys, insight into what the bad guys were doing, the bad guys insight into what the good guys were doing, which, didn't...
He served no purpose other than to narrate the episode in the most annoying way possible.
No, I still enjoyed the episode. It was decent, but it seemed like we were missing out on something because it seemed like the Doctor had already been to this planet before. When he said that one of his friends was,
it's probably just a reference to like
a previous episode. Yeah.
Well, even like sometimes New Who references Big Finish, or even the books.
Yeah.
Barcelona's in the books, where not the time he went with Rose, but the time before that. Like when he went to the Paul McGann Doctor, actually, where he went to Barcelona, and that's where the story of Barcelona comes from.
Dogs with no noses.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's raining.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so dark outside.
Well, it's winter.
It's not winter yet.
It's just about.
It's autumn. Oh, if you're in America, fall. But no, like, I just really didn't like the episode. I didn't think it was very good. I really didn't like it. It was horrible. I think I'd give it a 6.
6
out of 10.
Question marks. What are we rating it on?
Well, it looks like a clown. It's a clown shoes.
Clown shoes out of 10?
I don't know. This is our first introduction to him as a Doctor. I don't know what his thing is.
Yeah, I mean, arrogance seems to be a part of it, but I think we're a little bit into his tenure in this episode, and maybe they've calmed him down a little because they got bad, feedback from the thingy from the public about him. So he's not as, but he is still. There's still like those lines where you're like, this guy is arrogant as the Doctor. This Doctor is arrogant.
It is actually a shame Brian's not here because he could probably give us a bit more of an insight. That's why we call it Who's True Lesson with Brian. So you kind of need him to sort of narrate, to sort of guide us on a journey into this Doctor. But no, really, like, unless I was really missing something, I just really didn't enjoy it. It just wasn't good. I really enjoyed the opening theme and stuff like that. The DJ dude coming up at the beginning was okay, but then it got repetitive and really boring very quickly.
Yeah.
But pacing was really good. Story seemed to flow forward. We kept introducing new characters too fast, and we didn't seem to
develop the characters as they were going along.
Yeah, like there's the ones that got betrayed later on, and there's Sam, the assassin that comes out of nowhere and for no reason whatsoever wants to kill himself.
Yeah, what was his reasoning behind that? I mean, he wanted to kill Davros.
He's like, I've always wanted to die an honourable death. You don't even look that old, mate. You're like 40s or something.
Yeah, but he wanted to kill Davros because he wanted to go down in.
Well, no, he died in vain, don't we?
Yeah, because Davros got away. He killed. The Doctor says at the end, he killed all the new generation of Daleks. So, I suppose that, but he didn't get to where he wanted to go, which was to kill Davros by taking himself out. But yeah,
so it was. It's not like he didn't die an honourable death, but he did die a pointless death.
He did die a pointless death because
I properly recognised him, but it seemed like someone famous.
Yeah. He wanted to kill Davros, and that was his main reason for not setting up a delayed trigger on the bomb. And had the Doctor set up a delayed trigger, he probably still would have gotten all of the new generation of Dalek. Yeah. He just, wouldn't have got Davros, which he didn't.
I'd be interested to see more stories with him in, to see like how he is as a character. Maybe it just needs to grow on me to sort of appreciate it, but I just really didn't like the writing of the episode. It just didn't seem very good.
Are you? I don't know, because coming into this, we've been told quite a number of times by Brian that Colin Baker wasn't, a really good Doctor. Do you think that might have played a part in how
Maybe. Had it been a different Doctor, I might have enjoyed it a bit more. I did not feel like he could be counted on as a hero. I don't feel like he really had a place in the story either.
There was a lot.
But that's mainly down to the writing, though, not him as an actor.
There was a lot of action as well, like at the beginning. Mainly, the Doctor picked up a gun. He shot
He shot someone, didn't he?
He picked up. He didn't really shoot anyone.
Did he shoot anyone? I thought he picked up like a laser. I know that he had a laser in his hand at one point.
You're talking about when Davros had his arm shot off.
It wasn't the doctor that shot him.
Oh, it was so funny when Davros got his arm shot off and the doctor went to shake his hand.
That was.
It was probably an off-cut. Had you blinked, you'd miss it because it was sort of happening in the back of the scene.
Yeah. So like the old generation of Daleks seemed to swoop in at the last minute, and that was a weird thing. You know, that was something that I didn't.
You need to come to Dalek-Can.
Yeah. So they're taking him to Skara, and it's like, well, you know, what the hell? You know, where's the defeat of Davros? Because there was no defeat of Davros, was there?
No.
It was sort of, it just sort of fizzled out with the original generation of Daleks taking Davros back to Skara.
Yeah. No, it'd be interesting to see where it goes in the future. We'll definitely watch more Doctor episodes with him in. I'm not too sure what we're going to watch next week.
Brian,
Is
do
Brian
you
back?
have any suggestions? Oh no, Brian, you're not here.
Brian did actually have a suggestion. He suggested we watch the movie. But I don't know if that was for when he's back.
Well, I've seen it recently, so I know. You know,
when is he back?
I have no idea, but holidays don't usually take. He's currently in Spain, so you know. I mean, holidays don't usually take more than 2 weeks.
I
He was
on
here
holiday
last
for
week.
6 weeks one time.
Really?
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, but I mean, who has 6 weeks off of work?
Me.
Okay, well, ride it out for
4
you.
weeks paid and 2 weeks unpaid.
Okay. So, moving on. So the movie then, are we going with that for the next history?
We'll intervene outside of a podcast for that one and see what we've got. Because I've got my Blu-rays and stuff, so it's not like there's a shortage of Doctor Who episodes.
Yeah. Have you actually got a copy of the movie?
No.
Yeah, it's. I don't know if it'd be an easy one to come by because I've never seen it in any of the.
Oh, it's very
shops.
easy to come by.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Internet. Lewis.
Bri's probably got a copy anyway.
Yeah, definitely. So, how would you rate the episode, the story?
I think after going over that end bit, you know, like the sort of climax of the story fizzled out.
Yeah.
I'd give it 7 because
so you're sticking with the IMDb rating.
I liked the story as a whole. It felt very 1984, you know, Big Brother's watching, and I like that type of story. So I'll give it.
We won't decide what we're going to rate it out of yet. You know, like Gummy Bears and so. We'll wait till Brian comes back and he can tell us what his signature is. But you're doing 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
I think it's worse. I think I'm going to give it a 6.
No.
I'd watch it. It's 6 basically means I'd watch it once, but I don't feel like I need to go back to it.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
That concludes History Lesson without Brian.
Yeah.
Speaking of Brian, welcome to Gallifrey Gabble. Gobble, gobble, gobble. Remember that you too can email into us at thewhoniverseshow@gmail.com or DM us on Twitter at Whoniverse Show. We have a tweet from @Beads007. Hello, I'm Brian. Just listen to this week's show. Romana in City of Death was her at least second regeneration. Oh, so it was actually a second regeneration, at least.
Yeah, fair.
So that's good to know. I'd love to know some further information.
That's interesting. Just to go back quickly over history, we did say we'd come back to it. In the history this week, the Doctor actually advised.
He's 900 years old.
He's 900 years old, but I'm sure that.
So that means from this Doctor all the way up to Tennant in Voyage of the Damned takes place within 365 days.
Yeah. So because Tennant's 900 years old.
I'm a doctor. I'm 900 years old. I'm Lord from the constellation Castabras. Blah, 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 blah.
So 900 years just passed, within that same year.
Yeah, pretty much.
Within that same year, he's had many regenerations.
So maybe it all happened within a year. Or maybe he just
That's
literally doesn't know how old he is.
That's a busy year. Well, rule number 1, the Doctor lies, so, yeah.
Well, the other rule number 1, do as you're told.
Or did the writers just not do the research before putting that line in?
No, we've got fact checkers.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, but there's so much Doctor Who and there's so much to look into as well. It's very difficult.
I mean,
so we have to create new things like the Doctor's. It makes sense. Or the Doctor's so old, he doesn't actually know how old he is, and it makes sense.
You just get one person per episode,
Yeah.
and ask those one person per episode to to tell you what happens in the episode. And there you go.
And we've got one more from the one and the only Nicholas Mitchell. What's the worst episode of New Who you've ever seen, and is it so bad that you'd skip it upon rewatching of its adjacent series?
Ooh, yes. Probably.
It's the Pating episode in the new series.
Well, Pating has it's a space filler, but
it is literally a Dragon Ball Z filler episode.
Yeah, there are a couple. There is usually one.
I
series.
class that for all you anime watchers, specifically Dragon Ball Z. I see the Pating episode as the same one in the same vein as Goku going along Snake Way but stopping for a 5-episode snack with that Snake Woman.
Well, do you know, upon review, I think that Snake Way is only 7 episodes long. It just feels a lot longer,
But it was 7 weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Because you watched it over... Anyway.
10 years later.
In this... I think basically there are episodes, and it's there's usually one per series.
Well, the thing with the Pating episode, it's one of the worst episodes it's one of the worst I've ever seen. Is it bad enough that I wouldn't want to watch it again when rewatching the series? I'm kind of particular. If I'm rewatching, replaying, redoing something, I have to do it in its whole, and that includes all the crappy stuff. When I rewatch Dragon Ball Z, I rewatch all the fillers. I don't like the fillers, but I rewatch them because it's part of my childhood, and I just find it's like ignoring part of history.
Yeah, well, you can
It's
just watch the abridged version.
It's like people who don't believe, the Holocaust didn't happen for starters, but it's like people who believe that the Holocaust, certain things didn't happen.
Where are you going with this, Jamie? Come on, just get there already, please.
Just don't believe everything you see on the internet. That's all I'm saying.
Well, what I'll say is about this one, there are episodes, when I have rewatched Doctor Who, there are episodes that I've skipped, but I've learnt my lesson on this because I believed that Dinosaurs on a Spaceship, is that what the name of that episode?
I enjoyed that episode.
I believed that episode was a load of rubbish the first time I watched it, but when I watched it again, it was brilliant. I really enjoyed it.
A lot of people
so
don't like Star Wars Episode 1, but then they've freely admitted they've gone back and watched it, and they spent so much time focusing on Jar Jar Binks that they forgot about the rest of the film, because it was a great film. It was amazing. It had great music, amazing character development. I know. Are you an angel? We ignore that part, but that's the thing. It was a great film, and like all films, we've got bad parts in because people were expecting so much from these films.
Expectation,
yeah. You're always going to focus on the bad things rather than the good things. It's got one of the best enemies ever in Star Wars, Darth Maul, and I see Doctor Who in the same vein where a new Doctor's come out, people are expecting so much from it
because of previous Doctors.
Yeah, and then suddenly it's maybe. People always gravitate to the Pating episode and say, "Oh my god, it was so bad," but it was bad. Would I hate it as much if I watched it again? Well, hate's a strong word, but I think it's rewatchable. If you go back and watch the Adipose episode, that looks terrible now.
I watched it not so long ago, and you know what? I enjoyed it.
But
I did.
Visually, it's not aged well.
It's not. But anything with CG, is not going to age well. I mean, you go back and watch something like you go back and watch something. I don't know. I think of King Kong, one of the earlier versions of King Kong with CG in it. Horrible. You go back and watch Jurassic Park, and it has aged brilliantly because they used animatronics in that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they did, yeah.
So early CG was horrendous. It looked out of place,
Basically, Nicholas, I can't answer the first part of your question, but is anything really so bad you'd want to skip it in the future?
It's
not like a video game where you might have to play a bad version of a bad
What-
entry in a video
so-
game series.
For you, what is the worst episode of Doctor Who ever?
The Pating episode.
The Pating that.
But if this is New Who, yeah.
So in New Who, the Pating episode has to be the worst.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
But if I were to rewatch it, but like in Classic Who, I think the worst episode is the one we just watched, Revelation of the Daleks. Absolutely hated it, and once we probably finished that entire series, if I were to rewatch them all again in binge, I would still rewatch that episode. Wouldn't want to, but I'd still rewatch it. You know what? And I'll probably watch it. Appreciate it. In a different sort of form, maybe.
Just trying to think of my worst.
I'm a completionist.
episode.
I don't like doing things half-heartedly. So
I'm just trying to think of my worst episode. I just can't think. I've got to include it in. That's probably one. Do you know the episode? It's called something flesh. Melted flesh. I don't know. It's with the flesh. Sort of.
But is it a classic episode? Because it's called probably of Doom or something. Flesh of Doom.
It's
Flesh of Death.
It's about the liquid flesh that takes form of whoever's piloting the sort of avatar. They become avatars, but then the lightning strikes the building and they become they take on the sentiency of the.
So is this the worst episode you're talking about?
So to me that would be the worst episode.
Which Doctor is it?
It is David Tennant, I believe.
Okay.
So
well, look it up and do show and tell next week.
Yeah.
Is Brian back next week for the next episode?
I have no idea. We're gonna have to.
You know what we'll do? Do you want to watch it? If Brian's not back next week, do you want to watch a new one? A new Who episode?
What, and do I don't know.
It's still Who story, isn't it?
Yeah, because it's in the past. I mean, so which one would we watch though?
Should we do a special?
Yeah, why not?
We'll look into it. Yeah.
We'll weigh up our options.
We need to seek permission from Brian first, anyway.
Okay. Well, if Brian's back, then he can.
Yeah. Wow, Lewis, we had a great show today.
Right, you are, Jamie. And next week will be even better. Especially with Zit Farm, who made our logo, wearing the dead skin of broken zits on her face.
Broken zits.
Don't forget to follow me at Elbrook 13 or 14. Elbrook 14.
The fact that you don't know your own Twitter handle screams that you need to change it.
I do need to change it. I just haven't been on in a while.
Do something simple, Hoovy and Lou, and then just change it later when you think it's something better.
And Jamie at Watson's Musings. And the show at Whoniverse Show.
You've been listening to Hoovy and Whoniverse. Have a week! Shut up, Lewis.